Do you know what James Corden called Salt Bae? Christian Grey of red meat.
It might be the most erotic thing I've ever seen. I'm not joking. This man is like... He's like the Christian Grey of red meat. He's like the Christian Grey of red meat.
He's a genius. This is probably the smartest gimmick anyone could ever think of. No cost to do at all, and he's earning a lot from it. Salt Bae was not a nepo baby. He did not have all of this. He had a humble beginning. His father was a mine worker. His family finances forced him to leave school when he was in 6th grade. That was when he started his career as a butcher's apprentice. I did not know this. I don't think it was all fancy, like oh, I'm gonna be a fancy butcher's apprentice. I don't think so. But he eventually landed a job in one of the most popular steakhouse in Turkey. And then, as we all know it, he opened up his own chain of restaurants around the world, right? Whether you like him or not, this is a huge accomplishment. As you know, 4 years ago, a lot of people shared the same sentiment. This dude's restaurant has more salt than this. I did not mean to read that. He has 23 restaurants now. Respect to this man. Screw the haters. I know he loves his staff also. His success has a lot to do with this viral clip in 2017. He was not just sprinkling salt, girl. He was slapping, touching meat. You know, definitely have not seen any of the butchers I've ever encountered in my life doing those things. He was cutting meat and moving along with the meat as he cut them. Tell me, which chef in this world, in this lifetime or previous lifetime that, I don't know, perhaps you could remember, wore sunglasses in the kitchen? I don't think I work in a restaurant, and I don't think that is allowed. But you know, that's what made him famous. The iconic man bun, the low-cut white tee, the tight black pants. That was his uniform. That was his brand. It's not a secret. You go to his restaurant not for the food. You go there for the experience. Hopefully you can catch him there. Hopefully you can catch a video, and that's it. But this does not look good on Salt Bae because he started off as a chef.
Salt Bae, hugely notorious. His restaurant in Knightsbridge, where he was like charging ridiculous fees for gold-plated, terrible slabs of beef.
So the question is, has he always just been like this? Like, just want to own restaurants, be famous? Wikipedia has it that Salt Bae actually traveled to different countries like Argentina and the US to work for free in order to gain experience as a cook and as a restaurant owner. This was before he opened up his first restaurant in Istanbul in 2010. Picture this, you started working when you were 12 or 13, you know. From 13 to 26, he was very active in the F&B industry. In 2010, he opened up his first restaurant. 4 years later, he opened up his second restaurant in Dubai. This says a lot. You must have accomplished a lot to open up a second restaurant somewhere else, right? In 2017 was when he went viral. So he was 34 then, and that was 7 years after opening up his first restaurant. And it was then that we, the interwebs people, coined the name Salt Bae, you know, when Bae was such a thing. One of the most expensive and advertised item on the menu is tomahawk. I think for people who have a lot of red meat, it makes sense to, you know, go to a steakhouse, order tomahawk. I've only had tomahawk once in my life. It was also the first time I had tomahawk, and I found out that it's named tomahawk. I really just thought that Salt Bae was just cutting stick, to be honest with you. I didn't grow up eating a lot of red meat or stuff like that. But I'll tell you this much. The tomahawk that I had was so freaking good that it was literally melting in my mouth like I was eating otoro. I was like, this is
illegal.
However, let me bring you back, okay? It did not cost $275. And the chef surely did not ask,
do you want it wrapped in gold?
Now, over at Salt Bae's restaurant, everything is fancy, including the prices. You want a can of Sprite? Okay, that would be $10. You want some spinach? Okay, that would be $19. What sprinklers are you using to water the spinach? Because why is it $19? Spaghetti, that would be $80. Thank you. Tomahawk, $275. Golden tomahawk, that would be $1,000. I have a problem with golden tomahawk. Let's look at it. Gold leaf with tomahawk. Essentially, what you are paying is additional $725 for the gold exterior. Let's talk a little bit about the golden exterior, right? The selling point. Gold leaf. It's called gold leaf, or it's made of edible gold. And this gold has to be pure gold, else you might end up in the hospital with an infection. I only remember people using gold flakes on cakes or on some sort of desserts or whatever. But we were not the first to start using gold leaf or gold stuff on food. Egyptians were, according to Google. They consume gold because they believe it can purify our mind, body, and spirit. According to research, gold does nothing to the body. But this is like, I see goals. I believe in Ms. Pon Pon, but Neil deGrasse Tyson is like, there's no ghosts, there's no God, there's no demons. Who's the crazy one, To make gold for ingestion, it has to be 23 to 24 karat pure gold for it to be free from other metals like mercury, lead, and copper. It doesn't taste like anything, and it does not have health benefits. If Salt Bae come to you and say that, you know what, you should have the golden tomahawk because gold can purify your mind, your body, and your ugly soul. I feel like he might be able to fly with it. We have like candles that smell like VaJJ these days. People probably bought them, right? But he's not. This is just a display of luxury which completely aligns with his brand. This whole package is genius marketing. I'm not so sure about now, but I feel like a few years ago, the internet was about loud luxury. Salt Bae and his restaurant play perfectly into the concept of loud luxury.
Cappuccino!
Loud luxury has a lot of things that are redundant, for example, like gold leaf. Gold leaf and edible golds are mined the same way as gold jewelry. Gold mining and most sorts of mining is not good for the environment, creates a lot of toxic waste, it disrupts the natural landscape. It's also bad for miners. Exposure to harsh chemicals, mercury, I'm not sure if I can say this word, dangerous working condition, and some of them are not paid properly. In Peru, for example, I don't know where the gold is sourced from, but I want to give you an example. In Peru, there's this practice called, I'm going to write the name here. This means miners work for free or for minimal pay for majority of the days in a month. So 20 to 25 days, they work for free for the mining company, and then they get to work for themselves for the remaining days. So meaning whatever goal you can find in that 10 days or less than 10 days, you can keep for yourself. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like exploitation. So with all of this considered, do you think it's worth using gold on a tomahawk that does not taste like anything, that does not do anything? You tell me. We started using gold as accessory, but nowadays it's a financial instrument, and I feel like gold prices are just gonna keep going up in the foreseeable future, right? Unless
you are eating your gold.
Okay, anyway, let's talk about Salt Bae and his restaurants. Have you ever wondered what it's like visiting his restaurant? I have never been. If you have been, you let me know your experience down below, because I tried to check on the reviews on Google and they all are quite positive, and I'm like, this does not align with the articles that I read. It looks gold from the outside, but from the inside, Here are some allegations against his restaurant, or past allegations. Discrimination based on nationality. It was said that Turkish employees were treated so much better and they were not reprimanded for their mistakes as compared to non-Turkish employees. Angelo, who identifies as a Latino, he was fired in 2020 because he spoke up about nationality-based employment discrimination. He was also called Spanish poop by a colleague, revealing outfits and alleged misogyny. Women were told to wear dresses that looked like they were going to the club. Working in a restaurant is the furthest thing that you can get from going to the club. Elizabeth Cruz, so she was a former bartender at the New York branch, alleged that she was asked by the GM to change her clothes into short skirts, high heels, and a revealing top on her first day of work. The rest of the Turkish female employees did not have to do that. After the manager, I'm not so sure if it's the same manager, discovered that she was Dominican, he allegedly told her, "You know what? My wife is Dominican as well. I know how you women are." After Cruz complied with the manager's request, she was by her male colleagues, and one of her colleagues told her that she should go and work as a stripper. Another asked her to go on a date with him, even follow her home after she told him not to do that. 2 weeks into the job, Cruz was fired after asking if she could just wear the normal uniform, which was pants and a button-down shirt. Illegal tip sharing. So in Melissa's lawsuit, she claimed that the restaurant illegally shared front of house tips with non-tipped workers. I will link whatever I can down in the description below. As anyone who has ever worked in a restaurant or who is still working in a restaurant, I feel like it's such a chaotic job. It's so stressful, and the captain, the leadership is so important. Being a leader, you are the captain, and you, in a way, is the keeper of morale. You need to make them feel like they're supported, because sometimes customers be coming in and they be treating you like, and some parts of the restaurant, like the kitchen, is already as chaotic as it can be. It is so important for the manager or the owner to, can I say, inspire, or just to set rules, have a system where everyone feel like at the end, all of this chaos, we are still a unit. Is okay, we will go through it together. All that we know, right? His restaurants look like a mess. I believe most restaurants are a mess, but this, with all of this allegations, is crazy mess. But you know what? Salt Bae is not the only one running his restaurants. He has shareholders. Turkish billionaire
Ferit.
and textile designer
Mithat.
I know that this brand,
Doğuş.
which is owned by Farid, has shares in most, if not all, of Salt Bae's restaurants and food ventures, because I know he has some burger or milkshake, $99 milkshake.
His milkshake does not bring all the boys to the yard.
Even though Salt Bae is not the only one running his viral empire, this is a reflection of him, almost like a direct reflection of him. He is the one making headlines. It makes him look superficial, and as a businessman, is that a good image or reputation to have? But for publicity, I feel like, you know, all publicity is good publicity, is what I learned from Keeping with the Kardashians. But let's go back to the beginning. There's this saying, once you know the taste of having nothing, you don't want to go back there again. Salt Bae already had 2 restaurants when he became viral. From working as a butcher's apprentice at 13 to opening up your first steakhouse at 26. That says a lot about him and his character. However, fame can change a person, so I've heard. I don't know. Do you think he was too caught up with the fame and money? Let me know what you think. I don't think Salt Bae is running out of money. I think his restaurants might not be doing so well or closing down even. For someone at his level of fame and money, I think he would have had enough resources to forge a plan for the rainy day. So I don't know if he considered this as rainy day. I think it's very far from his downfall, but it could be the end of this steakhouse era. But you let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.